feels horrible, horrible, guilty breaking up.
Hi, welcome to another edition of the Best Pictures. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
I'm Don Tretler. Welcome to the show. And here we talked about this last week. I don't know well, actually, we weren't on last week.
No,
but 2 weeks ago, we talked about what we're going to do. And we were going to talk about Brat Pack.
But both of us kind of realized that that's not an hour-long show, really.
No, we'd have a hard time doing that.
Yeah, but what we wouldn't have a hard time doing is just talk about all 80s. Everything having to do with the 80s.
I should have stuck with the theme because I brought in movie quotes this week. And I could have done 80s movies.
Yeah, no, that would have been fun. But it's still
I want to say this one for last.
This is, we both have lists. I haven't even taken a look at yours. I think you vaguely know mine. But yeah, the intention was to do Brat Pack movies. As you can see, we do have a bunch of Brat Pack movies in the background. Which one of these is your favorite?
Oh, wow.
There's some real classics.
I liked a bunch of these movies.
I haven't seen Class. Have you seen Class?
No, that one I didn't see. That was on my list, too.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
For Brat Pack movies. Oh, it's rated R, which is kind of interesting. Because that's not geared to teenagers,
Is
I
St.
guess.
Elmo's Fire R?
Oh, maybe it is.
Oh, look.
This one's rated R, Breakfast Club.
I didn't know that.
Look at that.
That doesn't seem like it was in our movie.
No, I mean, it's a book. It's a movie about high schoolers, right?
Yeah.
And it's rated R, probably because of some of the thematic elements in it. But, I mean, nobody's naked in that movie.
No, it all takes place in school.
I think one of my favorites might be The Outsiders.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Look at that! Look at the cast. Look at those guys in that movie. And that was a.
Look how young they are. Look how young Ralph Macchio is.
Oh yeah, because we read that book in school, so I was really familiar with it by the time that they made the movie out of it. And it's Coppola. It says Coppola Presents. He directed that.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I don't see Matt Dillon.
In the middle.
Where?
On top.
Oh, right. Duh. I'm like, where's Matt Dillon? Oh, he's got the biggest.
That's pretty good.
C. Thomas Howell, Matt Dillon, Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Diane Lane, Emilio Estevez, Tom Cruise, Leif Garrett. That's quite the cast.
It is.
I always forget Tom Cruise is in The Outsiders.
That was a good one. And Coppola did another one of, I think it's another Hinton book, was Rumblefish.
Oh, I've heard of that. I haven't seen it. I've heard of it. That's kind of gotten a cast kind of like this, doesn't it?
I think Matt Dillon's in it. It's Matt Dillon and Mickey Rourke.
Here's
a great line. Here's a great line from the movie. This is going to I think it'll make you want to see it. Mickey Rourke is the older brother. I think he's been gone for a long time.
Yep.
And he returns back home, I guess back east, from California or whatever. So Matt Dillon says, hey, how was California? Or, what does he say? How was the Pacific Ocean? He goes, California got in the way. Which is kind of cool.
Rusty James, an absent-minded street thug, struggles to live up to his legendary older brother's reputation and longs for the days when gang warfare was going on.
Am I right? Was it Matt Dillon and Mickey Rourke?
7.2 rating.
And the dad is Dennis Hopper.
Wow, Diane Lane's in it too.
It's definitely worth seeing.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper. Nicolas Cage. Chris Penn, Lawrence Fishburne. Wow, that's got a really good cast.
Yeah.
Wish I had a pen on me. Can I borrow yours? I'll write it down right now. Thank you.
Here you go. So I was going to do some of these. Want to do quotes first? Yeah, my pen's a little messed up there.
Yeah, we can.
It's like a joke pen.
Yeah, we can do quotes first if you want.
All right, try this one, right? You're white, you don't fight.
You're white, you don't fight. I don't know.
I don't know if I saw this movie. Ride Along?
I haven't seen that.
It's, is that Ice Cube?
Oh, I think it might be,
And Chris Tucker, maybe?
Yeah.
All right, how about this one? Be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other. I don't know that one either.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Be excellent to each other. I should try to do the voices.
Should have known that one.
I've got to get out of here pronto. I've got a stage 5 clinger.
That's Wedding Crashers.
Oh, good. You got that one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that one. It's not that I'm lazy. It's just that I don't care.
That sounds like a movie I've seen.
I almost bought this the other day because everybody else has seen it but me. I'm like the only person who's never seen this movie.
I don't know.
Office Space.
Oh, no, that is a good movie. You should. That's a really good movie. It's funny. You know what it's about, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
I've
just
seen
funny because
pieces
he
of it.
just automatically just stops caring about anything whatsoever. It's hilarious. His boss is like, "Hey, you've been missing work a lot lately." He's like, "I wouldn't say I've been missing work." It is. You should definitely watch that movie.
How about this one? Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Does that sound familiar at all?
It does sound familiar. I don't know.
It's The Pride of the Yankees.
Oh, yeah, it's
Joey's
Lou
a
Gehrig.
Yankee fan.
Lou Gehrig.
Yeah, that's what's his name? The guy that played him. It was Lou Gehrig, played by Gary Cooper.
Gary Cooper, yep.
What can I say? I'm a spy.
I'm still frazzled by the Lou Gehrig thing. I can't believe I didn't get that. I've seen that speech so many times.
I tried to replicate it a little bit. What can I say? I'm a spy.
Can I say I'm a spy?
True Lies.
I haven't seen that in a really
I
long
should have
time.
said it with, what can I say? I am a spy. Good, bad. I'm the one with the gun.
Batman?
No, is it Army of Darkness?
Oh, I have. Believe
you
it or
seen
not,
that?
I haven't seen that.
Do you own it?
Nope.
That's one I should lend you because I can never get through this movie.
Really?
I own it. I've probably tried to watch it half a dozen times. I never get to the end of the movie.
No. Yeah, I think I'd watch it.
I can get the rat. You got to let me do it. My way, Frank.
That's The Departed.
It is The Departed.
Yep.
Who is Kaiser Soze?
The Usual Suspects. That's a tough one.
That's a softball.
Yeah.
And then I was getting to where I could see the truth. One day I'll be able to speak it. I don't remember somebody saying it, but it's The Outsiders.
Oh,
I just threw it in there because I had it. I was like, hey, we're talking about those movies today.
yeah.
So we were going to talk about Brat Pack this week, right? So I looked it up. Like originally the Brat Pack, they looked at eight actors and actresses
Okay.
were considered the original like Brat Pack. And it came from an article that they wrote, I think in the New Yorker, about this, and they came up with the name, the Brat Pack. And the actors
The actors themselves did?
no, like the byline for the article that they wrote on them
Gotcha.
was called The Brat Pack. And it was Emilio Estevez,
Okay.
Anthony Michael Hall,
Yep.
Rob Lowe,
Yep.
Andrew McCarthy, Demi Moore, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, and Ali Sheedy. Which basically was kind of like the overlap of The Breakfast Club and
St. Elmo's Fire. I forgot Mayor Winningham was in St. Elmo's Fire.
She's the only one.
That's not a Brat Packer?
And Molly Ringwald didn't make it into St. Elmo's Fire, I guess. Well, and I guess,
Andy McDowell. I don't see Andy McDowell.
no. No, I think she's an older, I don't know if she's with that crew of people.
Her name's on the St. Elmo's Fire. That's why I was
Yeah.
curious. Look at Emilio Estevez's face. Very wide.
Right. So I was kind of coming up with kind of like the core of the Brat Pack movies, right? Oh, and anyway, so they came up with this article about the Brat Pack. I was reading this. And what they said was, it was based on this guy for the New Yorker did an interview with Emilio Estevez, and Emilio Estevez was hanging out with some of these guys that he was doing the movies with. Like Rob Lowe. I'm trying to think who else. Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe. I forget who else they said he was hanging around with. And it was not, I guess they didn't take it as a compliment. So it turned out that they thought that was, based on the article, it was kind of an insult to them, that they were kind of playing it up like, they were young and partying all the time and not talented, not particularly talented, So they thought that was kind of a knock on them, which was kind of interesting. So I was thinking of like the movies, like this is what I consider the core of the Brat Pack movies. So you're looking at The Breakfast Club,
Yep.
St. Elmo's
St. Elmo's
Fire.
Fire.
I put Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink. Yep.
I put Less Than Zero.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah, I love that movie.
I haven't seen it.
That's a really, really good movie. There's
But
only
I-
one Brat Packer in it though, just McCarthy,
Yeah.
because it's Jamie Getz and Robert Downey Jr.
Is it
Like,
James Spader?
James Spader is in it. Yep.
And then I included The Outsiders because you look at that, it's like that's
Yeah,
got
that's
to be.
screaming breakfast Brat Pack.
And then the other one I included because I know you like this one too, and I think it was really good. Red Dawn,
I have Red Dawn on my list. I
Yeah.
thought Red Dawn was awesome.
because that's got Swayze.
It's got Charlie Sheen.
Has it got? Swayze?
I think it's Swayze, Sheen, C. Thomas Howell.
Somebody else is in there too. It's got
I have this right in front of me. Why don't I?
Jennifer Grey.
Yep.
Who's the girl?
Is that Jennifer Jason Leigh?
Is that who it
Is
is?
she in it too? Hold on a second. I'll check.
I think it might have been what's his face is the guy that played the mother in Back to the Future.
Oh, Leah Thompson?
I think it's Leah Thompson. Well, you look it up. We're gonna look and see if it's Leah Thompson in Red Dawn. And they
think you might-
remade the movie Red Dawn. Did you see the remake?
Yeah.
Was it good?
I liked it. The original's better.
The original, yeah, because the original, I've seen it a couple of times.
I consider the original an absolute classic.
Yeah,
You know?
it never ceased to kind of get me going. You know, the Wolverines, right?
Yep. Yeah, it is Leah Thompson.
Wolverines.
Patrick Swayze, C. Thomas Howell, Leah Thompson, Charlie Sheen, Jennifer Grey, Harry Dean Stanton, Powers Booth.
Yeah,
Pretty good cast.
yeah, that was a good one. I just included that one in because to me those were like the core of it. Now they've got some other ones up here too, like this one Class, which neither one of us saw. Oh, I didn't look it up. I only looked up. I wrote down some of the ratings on IMDb of the better ones of these movies. So like if it was really bad, I don't think I wrote down the. But Class, I think, got a really bad rating. Kind of looks like a silly movie. And the best of all these movies, well, if you're stretching them all out, well, Breakfast Club got 7.9 on IMDb, which was rated the best.
That doesn't surprise me.
So that could be the best of the Brat Pack movies. And I've seen that a couple times. It's real good. It's a real engaging movie. If you people haven't seen it out there in TV land, check it out. So here's some of the ratings of some of the other ones. St. Elmo's Fire got 6.4, which is significantly lower than
The
Breakfast Club.
Yep.
7.2 for The Outsiders, so that's pretty well liked.
Yep.
Less Than Zero was 6.4, which I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I wanted to see it. Pretty in Pink got 6.8. Red Dawn was 6.4, which to me is pretty low
Yeah.
for a movie that I
See,
thought was
they
pretty
have Red
good.
Dawn and Less Than Zero both at 6.4. I disagree with both of those. I think they're both way higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know you haven't seen Less Than Zero, but
Yeah, is James Spader in that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's three main leads. It's Andrew McCarthy, Jamie, is it Getz or Gertz? I think it's Getz. And then Robert Downey Jr., and then James Spader plays, I'll say the bad guy. And
So what other movies, like, what do you think, like Brat Pack movies, beyond like those, those 6 that I named off?
I mean, I always kind of put Weird Science in that,
Yeah.
in the Brat Pack category. I guess really none of the core really is in, right?
I mean, there's a little bit. Yeah, Anthony Michael Hall's in that one.
Anthony Michael Hall, yep.
And I don't know who that other guy is in Weird Science. He's a young guy with dark hair, but he didn't turn out to be a big actor. He's nobody that I could tell you what his name is. I can picture his face. And that wasn't Jacqueline Bisset.
Island Mitchell Smith.
Yeah.
You know who else is in that? Bill Paxton.
Right. Bill Paxton plays the older brother that dresses
The
up
jerk.
in military gear.
Yeah.
That's the first time.
Chet.
Yeah, Chet. That's the first time I ever saw him in a movie, and he was good enough that I remembered him.
Yeah, he was good. He was a good jerk.
Speaking of which, I don't know if well, now I'll be out of context by saying this, but I was thinking of a movie. There were a lot of these good like teen movies right around this time in the 80s, in the early 80s and stuff. And there was a movie called Valley Girl.
I've heard of it. Isn't that Nicolas Cage?
Nick Cage.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the movie, and it was a so-so movie, about this kind of punk guy. And I think I call him like a punk guy because had like new wave music. He was like into new wave music, and it had a new wave soundtrack. And he falls in love with this Valley Girl, and which really seems kind of ridiculous and everything, but it's kind of a silly movie, but kind of Nick Cage just jumped off the screen. I mean, at the end of the movie, you're like, man, who was that guy? And of course, he became a pretty big star. And I know he's not one of your favorites, but
No.
I like Nick Cage. When he's good, he's good. But he picks some lousy movies sometimes.
I feel like he does too many because he's broke, So.
Right. Yeah, there was one, I can't even tell you what the name of the movie is, but I read a review recently of a movie that he was in, that he played a supporting role in, and they were kind of like, they thought he was over the top, they thought the movie was kind of crappy.
I think he's over the top in a lot of his roles.
He did this movie where he's very understated. I'm going to say new, but it's probably within the past 5 years, called Joe. And he plays this guy that, he's like the foreman of a what do they call him? Like a lumberjack crew. And this kid comes up to him and kind of tries to get a job with him, this like high school student, and he takes him on to be as part of his crew. And he also takes the kid like personally, kind of under his wing, because
Yep.
the kid has a real, crappy dad. And Nick Cage is pretty understated, and it's good. It kind of shows the good side of him if you get to see that movie. But you probably don't want to see it because you're like, that's Nick Cage, and I'm sick of him.
I mean, I like some Nicolas Cage. Like, I really like the two National Treasure movies. I think he was good in Leaving Las Vegas, but I still think Sean Penn was better in Dead Man Walking than he was. But
Sean Penn's always better than almost anybody.
Yeah, he's a tough
Well,
one.
how about that? Sean Penn, do you consider him Brat Pack?
I mean, when I think 80s Sean Penn, the first thing obviously is Fast Times at Ridgemont High,
Again, there's a role. He just jumped off the screen.
Yeah.
Even before I even saw the movie, on the commercials, he jumped off the screen. They knew it. They knew they had a shooting star with him.
Yep.
Mr. Hyde.
That was his first movie. That was his first role.
Yeah. He was good.
Yeah, and he hasn't slowed down.
So what other movies do you consider from that? Because I had a whole list of these movies.
Well, what about
to
Ferris
consider.
Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah, I put that on the list, yeah. Kind of Brat Pack. Doesn't really have outside. Jennifer Grey was somebody I could kind of put as like an outside, actress from the Brat Pack.
Right.
Not one of those original 8, but there's some other people, like we said, Mare Winningham. She was in St. Elmo's Fire. How about Robert Downey Jr.?
Yep.
I wrote Tom. I just wrote these. This was somebody else's list, but I just thought we took Tom Cruise. Mm-hmm. Throw him out. C. Thomas Howell.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon, yep.
Patrick Swayze.
That's why it was kind of hard to limit it. Because when you get talking about these people, you're going to go, oh, well, remember this one, and then this one, and then we're going to be way out there.
Right.
So I figured just 80s in general. I mean, the Brat Pack's a good place to start, definitely, Out of those, who do you think made it biggest?
Out of those original 8, I would have to say it was Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, yeah.
She got huge. She got to be a headliner. Starred in easily, probably showed half a dozen, probably more than that, movies that she was the star.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else reached that.
On the flip side, I would say Ali Sheedy probably was the one that didn't go as far as everyone else.
Yeah.
Because did you ever see Made to Order?
Yeah.
That was actually pretty fun.
She's really cute.
But I would definitely say Demi Moore's the only one that really rose to superstardom. Because when's the last time Judd Nelson was in anything?
I don't know.
Seriously, I don't even remember he did that Relentless movies, and he was in New Jack City, but other than that, I don't remember seeing him in anything else.
You know, Anthony Michael Hall, he's been around. He's kind of resurrected
Isn't he
himself.
Dexter?
No, I don't think he's Dexter, but
Oh,
he
he's
does.
not?
He does star in a television show.
Okay. Just gonna
I mean, he's much heavier. There, he's like a skinny. He's a skinny kid, and he's kind of like, you know, he's filled out.
All right, what about Can't Buy Me Love?
Oh, what's that?
That's the one with Patrick Dempsey's a dork, and he hires the most popular girl in school to pretend date him so that he becomes popular.
Oh, this sounds like an '80s movie.
You haven't seen it?
I don't think
Can't
so.
Buy Me Love? Oh, you gotta watch it. It's so funny. It's just, 'cause he goes from being like the big,
Where's the pen?
it's broken, but
Well-
Colin, we need a pen. But what was I gonna say?
Maybe I put it on this
Oh,
list. and I
yeah,
don't know.
he's a complete dork. And she's like, he mows her lawn, actually, is how it starts. And then he gets her to, thank you.
Cool.
He pays her to become his girlfriend. And he ends up turning into like the most popular guy in school. And he ends up like, you know, kind of throwing her to the side. And I can't believe you haven't seen that. Another one that I was thinking of that also had Patrick Dempsey, and it was Loverboy.
Loverboy.
Did you see that? Where he's the
No.
pizza delivery guy? Oh man, you're killing me. You should write that down too. That's just as good. Because there is a little stretch where perhaps Patrick Dempsey was pretty big in the '80s, and those two were pretty big hits. I haven't seen Loverboy in a while, but Can't Buy Me Love I watched like a month ago. And,
Yeah.
You know, it's got the classic Can't Buy Me Love song playing at the beginning and at the end. No, it's yeah. You know what? I'll write them down too. Because I think I own both of them. I keep telling you I'm going to bring in movies. And I
Is
don't.
another one that's kind of like in that grouping of 16 Candles. Mm-hmm. And there it is, Anthony Michael Hall and
Yeah, Molly Ringwald.
Molly Ringwald. Yeah, I guess that's one of her big ones. So she did that, Breakfast Club,
Breakfast Club, yeah.
and Pretty in Pink.
And she missed St. Elmo's Fire, though, right?
Yeah, she wasn't in that. She did another one with.
It makes you wonder why she wasn't in that and Mary Winningham was in that.
Right.
You know, it's like, why wouldn't you just keep the core together?
She did one with Andrew McCarthy called Fresh Horses, which got a pretty lousy write-up, if I remember that.
Yeah.
And I saw that. I think I saw that one in Bellows Falls years ago, back before they redid the theater and everything.
I wonder what they give
So yeah, here's some of the Ralph Macchio, right? He did the Karate
Kid
movies.
series. Yep.
Charlie Sheen, James Spader. I wrote Harry Dean Stanton because he turned out he was in a couple of these movies. John Cusack. Do
John
you consider
Cusack.
him as like one of these guys?
Yeah, well, I was going to mention that. You ever seen the movie True Colors? It's with
Colors.
John Cusack and James Spader.
Oh, I don't think so.
They're like best friends. Well, they meet each other in college, like they're roommates the first day, and they get into a fight, and they don't realize that they're roommates yet. And then they end up becoming best friends, and they both become lawyers.
Oh, wow.
And one of them does the,
Prosecution?
yeah, he's like, you know, on the good side, and the other one's kind of like the corrupt politician.
Oh.
So-
James Spader had to be the corrupt one. No.
Can you believe that? John Cusack.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. I would watch that then.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because of the role reversal.
I'll bring that in too.
You know, I used to hate James Spader. I used to be like, man, I can't stand that guy.
You know what changed me about him was 2 Days in the Valley. You know, I never really cared for him until I saw that, and then I saw him be a bad guy.
I always thought was like a one-note guy. But then he played on that television show with, what's his name, from Star Trek? Bill, is that his name, Bill?
From Star Trek?
Yeah, who's the guy from Star Trek, the original?
William Shatner?
William Shatner, yeah.
Oh,
He and William Shatner were on a show about lawyers. I think it's called
Boston Legal?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it changed titles like 2 or 3 times, and they rebooted the whole cast.
And James Spader was great on that show. I mean, so was William Shatner was really great. I mean, the rest of the cast, I think William Shatner was like a side character, and then he was just so great. And James Spader too. The two of them were just fantastic on the show. And that changed me on James Spader. I haven't seen 2 Days in the Valley.
You haven't?
No, I'm going to have to see that one.
I have that too. All right.
We said we didn't see Class, 16 Candles
No.
we can. How about this one, Oxford Blues?
I haven't seen that. Actually didn't even hear of that until.
There's somebody else in that too, in Oxford Blues. It's him and, oh man, why do I think it's, what's his name? Brendan Fraser, maybe? Was Brendan Fraser much younger than he is?
Ali Sheedy's in it.
Ali Sheedy.
Rob Lowe, Ali Sheedy.
Man, you would have thought I would have seen it. I like
Julian
Ali Sheedy.
Sands, Carrie Elwes. Those are the only names I recognize. Like Alan Howard, Julian Firth, Julian Sands.
Here's another one that's on the Blue City. I don't even know what that is. I think that's a Judd Nelson movie. Then there's this one, About Last Night, which I thought was based off of a play.
Blue City, Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy.
Sure it is. It says David Mamet.
David Caruso.
I liked that movie.
Which one? I don't think I've seen all that.
About Last Night.
I don't think I've seen all that.
I want to. I know I liked it enough that I want to see it again. I think it had like a good. I think it had good dialogue, good story to the whole thing.
Good cast, really good cast.
Who
You
else
know
have
what's? It's probably not an '80s movie. I want to say it's early '90s, but it just made me think of it was Curly Sue. Did you ever see that with James Belushi and Kelly Lynch?
No, I know what you're talking about.
It's good. You should watch that. But I think that is '90s.
Here's an Emilio Estevez movie, Wisdom. I think that one might have been directed by Sean Penn.
Really? That's what we get the iPad for.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. If my memory could be totally off here.
Emilio Estevez, Demi Moore.
Oh, that's it.
It was actually directed by Emilio Estevez.
Oh, all right.
Tom Skerritt.
Pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, what happened to Emilio Estevez anyway? He's not, my impression is he doesn't have the problems that his brother has with drugs or anything like that. You don't ever hear anything about Emilio Estevez to the negative, but he also isn't making any movies.
The last thing I remember him doing was he directed Bobby, about Robert F. Kennedy's, the day of his assassination,
Huh.
which I haven't seen, but
I wonder if that's what he's concentrating on something else.
you know what? Let's check it out.
Yeah, really, Emilio Estevez, like the poor guy disappeared. Let's see, what's another one that's, well, we talked about Ferris Bueller, which is like another really highly rated one. Everybody loves Ferris Bueller.
That's my former boss's son's name. It's Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, there's nobody that doesn't like that movie.
No.
We said Weird Science, War Games.
That's Matthew Broderick, right?
Yeah, I think that's a Matthew Broderick movie. Here's
Wow.
Bad Boys, that's Sean Penn.
He hasn't done. That's a good movie. That's a really good movie. He really hasn't done anything.
He just disappeared.
The last thing really that he's really done is Bobby, and that was 2006.
Wow.
I mean, he's done a few other things, but like one's a TV movie, one's he's a voice from a video, and he was on 2.5 Men. But yeah, I mean, he really just because he was pretty big for a little while. I mean, when Young Guns came out,
Yeah.
those were really good. I mean, they could have almost had their own little Brat Pack with Estevez, Sheen, Sutherland. You throw in Slater, Lou Diamond Phillips. You know, because those movies had really good casts.
Yeah, and I remember I liked it. I liked the first one.
Did you
I don't know
see
if I
the
saw
second one?
I might have. But I probably didn't like it as much as the first one.
No, the first one's definitely better.
Because somebody wasn't in it. Somebody from the original.
Well, Charlie Sheen dies in the first one.
Ah.
Dick.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry if anybody hasn't seen. He doesn't make it through the whole movie. Let's just put it that way. Dick doesn't make it all the way through the movie. But that's a really good movie. Jack Palance plays the bad guy. And what's his name? Plays John Tunstall.
So
Terrence Stamp plays John Tunstall, who's
Oh.
the overseer of the regulators. You know, he takes troubled kids in, troubled young men in, and, you know, shows how to be a man and not like a crook, you know.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's got Jack Palance and Terrence Stamp.
And then you're talking like Dermot Mulroney, Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland. I mean, that first one had a cast for the ages.
Yeah, that's probably a good one to include on the Brat Pack.
Yeah, they didn't like Kiefer, or not Kiefer Sutherland, like Christian Slater wasn't in the first one. He's in the second one though. There's Arkansas Dave. Young Guns was 1988. Young Guns 2 was 1990. So they didn't make them too far apart.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got.
So it's still 80s, so it still could be considered almost like Brat
So you
Pack.
got Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulroney, Terrence Stamp, Jack Palance, Terry O'Quinn. I forgot Terry O'Quinn's in it too. So that's got a pretty good cast. They don't have Lou Diamond Phillips.
And what did it get for a right? What did they rate it?
6.8.
6.8. That's pretty good. That's pretty high.
Let's see what they gave the other one.
It's not Godfather range or anything, but
No.
it's still a decent movie.
All right, now I'm going to see what they gave the second one. Because the second one, like I said, has a lot of the same cast, but it also has a lot of new guys.
Here's another one. Did you ever see this, One Crazy Summer?
That's Demi Moore, right? John Cusack?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Long time ago.
He's like a cartoonist, so the movie is interspersed with cartoons that he supposedly had been drawing. I remember liking that. That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, William Peterson plays Pat Garrett in the second one. So it's Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Christian Slater, William Peterson, Alan Ruck, Baltzar Getty. Oh, yeah, Viggo Mortensen's in it.
Oh, wow.
I forgot he's in it, too. He's one of the bad guys on,
Wow, I wouldn't have remembered that.
on their trail. This one got 6.5. So,
That's not bad. 6.4. That's for
Not-
the Young Guns, too.
that's for the sequel, yeah.
Oh.
That's not bad at all. This is a movie I'd like to see remade.
Young Guns?
Yeah. Because, I don't know, in a way, I don't know, it's tough because, like, I don't see anyone playing Billy the Kid as good as Emilio Estevez did with that laugh and his charisma, you know? I mean, he owns that character so well. Another one that kind of in the same lines is Men at Work, where it's Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, they're trash men. And they act like trash men, you know? They play games all the time with the trash and stuff. I wonder what they gave that. I haven't seen it in a long time, but you haven't seen it at all, right?
No.
It's one of those, that actually came out in 90. That surprises me.
I'm putting it on the list. Men at Work.
Yeah, well, I'm going to write it down because I have all these.
Not to be confused with the 80s rock band.
Okay, we got to have 2 updates. 1, have you watched Braveheart yet?
No.
Okay. 2, has the library gotten their copy of Zodiac back?
No, still haven't.
All right, this is going to be a weekly thing, every week now. So 1, bring back the movie to the library so Don can watch it. And 2, pick 3 hours and you and your girlfriend can watch Braveheart.
Maybe next weekend.
This is what he says every week. Maybe next weekend.
She's finally moved in, so
She has.
yeah. So we've got everything, so we can sit down and watch the movie.
So that might
Don't
actually
go.
make it
Also,
help.
don't look for the library's copy of Pretty in Pink because I have it right now.
And he's not bringing it back anytime soon.
And I didn't get to see it over the weekend. I wanted to watch it in preparation for the show.
What about? This is nowhere in line. Like, this is my 80s list completely. Like, I asked you earlier, what do you think, like, the biggest movie of the 80s? Not necessarily financially, but...
What that kind of defines the 80s?
Yeah.
How about Rambo?
I was thinking more along the lines of E.T.
Me too.
You know, E.T. actually was the #1 grossing film of the 80s. It made
Wow.
$399.8 million. And that was, 34 years ago? So can you imagine how much money that movie would have made now?
Yeah.
I had the top 10 on here. I was going to show it to you.
I went to see E.T. at the movie theater, but
did-
it was sold out at the time. I mean, it was such a huge hit. It came out of just everybody had to go and see E.T. that I ended up going to see the movie that was in the other movie theater, which we'll talk about next week, I guess, when we do our Halloween show. I had watched John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh.
which I read an article about it too in kind of preparation for that show that somebody was talking about they resurrected it. They said, yeah, this movie is better. It's more than just like a gore fest, which at the time it had some pretty incredible gore, but it's a pretty good movie.
Rambo?
The Thing.
Oh, The Thing. Oh, no, that is a good movie.
But Rambo, well, I see Top Gun up there too. Top Gun could have been a good
I have all
80s
these
movie.
movies, the top 10 movies of the 80s, all made my list. But number 10 was Top Gun. This is grossing wise, 176.8 million.
Yep.
That was 1986, I want to say. Yeah. I mean, that shot him to superstardom right then and there. Like, he was already on the way up, but that movie just boom. You're a
Right.
household name. You're the biggest name in Hollywood right now. No doubt about it. And it's a great movie. I mean, I'm not happy that they're doing another one, but
They're remaking it, or he's going to be in it.
he's going to be the instructor, I think.
Oh wow!
I think that was the plan. All right, so then number 9, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I'm not going to lie, I didn't like the Indiana Jones movies.
The Last Crusade, is that the one
That's
with?
Sean Connery. That's
I've never seen
that's
that
the
one.
third one.
That's the one I've just, for whatever reason, I've never gotten to sit down and see it.
I didn't like them. I was very disappointed in all of them. But I mean, I think a couple of them are on this list, so obviously they're pretty popular. I mean, he's an iconic character. You know, it's like when they said that they're doing a reboot for Han Solo, it's like you can't have anybody else be Han Solo. That's just not right. You know, I mean, Harrison Ford nailed that. He was so perfect at being the cocky, annoying, alpha male. You know.
Yeah, and I think I've said this before about sometimes an actor or an actress puts a stamp on a character where it can never be touched again. And I always say this about Marlon Brando and Streetcar Named Desire, which was a play before then. He was in the play, and then he got to be in the movie, and they switched it out. It was Jessica Tandy played, I can't remember the character's name now.
Stella.
Not Stella, but Stella's sister.
Oh.
I can't remember what her name was. But Jessica Tandy played her on Broadway, and then they switched, and it was Vivian Leigh in the screen version. Well, then, of course, Marlon Brando just eats up that movie. And nobody, this is my opinion, but I don't think anybody can do the play again without doing like a Marlon Brando impersonation. I saw Alec Baldwin on Broadway do it. And Alec Baldwin...
You actually saw it? Like you were there?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
working in the theaters at the time, and he was doing it.
How did you do?
He did good,
I think
but
he's
it was
a pretty talented actor.
But it wasn't an original character. It was like imitating Marlon Brando's character, which is not necessarily a knock on him.
No, not at all.
You just can't do it. You can't play that character. It's Marlon Brando. It's the same thing with
The Godfather.
Don Corleone.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Terry Malloy from On the Waterfront. Nobody can, which they brought back to be a play on Broadway. You can't touch those characters. Marlon Brando, boom, put his stamp on them. Same thing with, like you say, with Harrison Ford. You're not going to be able to.
Well, that's what I was kind of saying with, even though I would like to see it remade, is Emilio Estevez as Billy the Kid. I mean, you could just tell he's having fun doing that, playing that character, you know? It's like he's always got a grin on his face. He's always got that goofy laugh.
You know, it's funny too. I'm looking up at Outsiders, and Tom Cruise playing the character. I don't remember what his character's name was there, but he was very different than the Tom Cruise we're used to. He didn't remind me of that regular Tom Cruise type of thing. It's almost like he was he really was trying to do some acting in that movie. If people go get to see it. I mean, he carries movies, but he usually carries it just kind of playing that Tom Cruise character.
Right.
But every so often, like he did with Born on the 4th of July, he steps out and really tries to be an actor, and really tries to develop a different character.
What was that, one?
He can do it.
The one where he has the long hair and the ponytail. He's like a performer.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I know the one you're
He was
talking about.
nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He lost to Michael Caine.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I
It's
didn't
like
see it though.
Paul Thomas Anderson, or
Oh, that one's Paul Thomas
I
Anderson?
think so. All right, now I got to look it
Well,
up.
the Paul Thomas
Oh,
An-
Magnolia.
Oh,
He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor that year.
yeah, he was good.
And he lost to Michael Caine for that Cider House Rules. That's when Michael Caine came back. Because he was kind of like, for a while, like he was in like Jaws 4, you know? And it's like, okay, you're an Oscar winner. You don't need to be in those movies, you know? And that Cider House Rules really brought him back. And then the Batman franchise pretty much secured
I guess people come and go. I just read about, you know who I was looking up. We were talking about actors of a certain age. I think we were talking about Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, Sean Connery.
That Gene Hackman was roommates with Dustin Hoffman, and Dustin Hoffman's getting pretty close to 80. He may not be 80, but I looked up Dustin Hoffman, and he hasn't done a whole lot lately. At least nothing notable. He's done some crap. But
Well,
he hasn't
there's
really done
one
anything
he
great.
did kind of recently called Chef.
Oh, he's in that.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
No.
I'm going to write that down. You should watch. That's a really, really good movie.
I got to see.
Yeah, he's the boss in that. He's the owner of the restaurant.
I just read a review. He's in this new Noah Baumbach movie with, get this, Adam Sandler. And Adam Sandler's, Ben Stiller plays Adam Sandler's brother.
Oh, God.
And Dustin Hoffman plays their dad. I got to see this movie. I mean, you're putting those guys together, and yeah, I got to tell you, I like Adam Sandler when he steps out of the silly guy movies. When Adam Sandler does something that's relatively,
Not obnoxious.
not obnoxious, I like him.
He hasn't done that in a while.
Like he did it with, didn't he do a movie where they were stand-up comics?
Yeah, I didn't
Somebody
see
gets
that.
sick.
Yeah, like him and Seth Rogen and Eric Bana.
Yeah, I like stuff like that. He did a Paul Thomas Anderson,
Yeah, Punch Drunk Love.
and so I like him when he does that stuff.
One thing that he did that was really funny that I liked was Eight Crazy Nights. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Did you like it?
I did.
You know, because it actually had, there's a moral to the story and everything, and I liked it. I didn't like the old guy's voice, though. It was so annoying.
Yeah.
Remember?
And a plug for Adam Sandler, too. I met him in person. He was really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Number 8 is Back to the Future of the 80s.
Back to, yeah, definitely. That would be one.
1985. I mean, $210.6 million. So, I mean, the 80s,
That wasn't one of my favorites. I didn't really get into that like other people did.
me neither, but the 80s, there were just so many fun movies in the 80s. You know, I mean, we could definitely do another episode on the 80s, no question. All right, so another thing I was asking you about was who do you think was the biggest?
Biggest star?
Well, this is how me and my boss had described it. Who was the biggest star of the 80s and who was being set up to be the biggest star of the 90s, I guess. So it's kind of, because there's a couple years of crossover where like Kevin Costner, late 80s, early 90s, he was huge.
Right.
You know, everything he was in was a gold.
Bruce Willis.
Yep.
He did kind of that
Die
same kind
Hard,
of cross. Because he had a television show in the mid 80s.
Moonlighting,
with Sybil
right?
Shepherd. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he started to do a couple of movies, and next thing you know, he took off to be a huge. Well, I think he still must be pretty huge, right? Is he kind of a lead man? Does he still do? He did Red.
Oh, Bruce Willis? Yeah, I mean,
Still a lead guy.
I don't think he's been in anything like huge lately.
No, not in a while. He's
No.
not. He's not the draw. See, it's all about money. So, the Bruce Willis name isn't making the money it used to.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him if they'd have caught him as an actor when he was younger, as part of the Brat Pack?
Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
I'm glad they stopped making Die Hards. I saw the last one in the movie theater. It was terrible. It was just bad.
Enough, right?
Yeah. Like, I liked the first 3. Even A Good Day to Die Hard wasn't bad. Or, no, what is it? I forget what it's called now. The 4th one wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But the last one is A Good Day to Die Hard. That was just stupid. They introduced his son as like an undercover cop, and it was just...
Well, to answer your question about because my initial response, who I thought was the biggest star of the 80s, and the biggest movie of the 80s, I said Sylvester Stallone, because he had the crossover of the Rambo series and Rocky.
Rockies.
Because he still was making Rocky movies.
He's still making Rocky movies.
Plus, he made other movies in addition.
Tango and Cash we talked about. That was a good one.
Yeah. So I think Stallone probably, to me, like kind of defines the 80s as far as an actor. But I mean, it's arguable. There's other people.
What about like I honestly, when I was speaking earlier about it,
And Rambo's good. I mean, you've seen Rambo.
thought Charlie Sheen had some pretty big movies in the 90s.
Charlie
Yeah, no,
Sheen.
Rambo was good. Rambo was very good. But just some of the movies that Charlie Sheen was in were just, I mean, we talked about Young Guns. You got Platoon, you got Wall Street, you got Major League.
Yeah, they're
Um,
right there. Those are big.
I just had it.
The movie about the trash men?
Yeah, Men at Work. You know, I mean, those are all really big movies, and he's pretty much the star of all of those movies. You know, Tom Cruise. You know, you got Cocktail, you got Rain Man, you got Risky Business, you got Born on the 4th of July, you got The Color of Money.
Yeah.
Which I forgot about The Color of Money. That was a really good movie. And I'd say going through to the 90s, he probably benefited the most of anybody because he was, for years, he was the #1 star in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like really no comparison, I don't think. I mean, Mel Gibson was pretty big for a while too.
Yeah, there's one. Mel Gibson was probably pretty big in the 80s too.
Lethal Weapon was 87, I want to say. All right, let's go back to IMDb here. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because he also had like Tequila Sunrise with him and Kurt Russell and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lethal Weapon movies were all really good, I thought. They definitely got less serious when they added Joe Pesci in the second one.
Yeah. Well, I think that was part of the appeal is that they got less serious. They got a little more comical.
Yeah.
And, you know, kind of a buddy movie.
Yeah, because the first one definitely was with Mr. Joshua there. That was pretty dark. Gary Busey did a pretty good job with that. 'Cause he was creepy, like freaky. Mel Gibson is 60 as well.
Yeah. Here's Young Guns. I put that on my list here, my Brat Pack list. Taps. We didn't say anything about Taps,
That's
right?
a good one.
Timothy Hutton. I think Tom Cruise is in that. There's a third guy too.
Oh yeah, so you got to stretch from like 85 to like 94, where you got Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Lethal Weapon. Actually, The Road Warrior was in 81, and Mad Max was 79. So you got those three movies. You got all the Lethal Weapons. You got Tequila Sunrise, Air America, Bird on a Wire, Forever Young, The Man Without a Face, Maverick, Braveheart. I mean, that's from 84 to 94. That's a pretty good stretch.
Yeah.
You know?
He was big.
Yeah. Yeah, all of those were hits. I mean, I forget about Bird on a Wire. I haven't seen that in a really long time. Him and Goldie Hawn. What other movies you get on there?
Let's see. I have some movies I never heard of. Kansas. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
Johnny Be Good.
Is that Mickey Rourke?
I'm not sure what that is. Mannequin.
Mannequin. Yep.
Right?
Have you seen that? That's Andrew McCarthy and
Not Andy McDowell. The other one that we like.
the girl from Kim Cattrall, isn't it?
I thought it was Jennifer Connelly.
In Mannequin? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's Kim Cattrall.
Maybe you're right. What's the one with Jennifer Connelly then? That was Jennifer Connelly kind of emerged around that same time with the Brat Pack.
Mannequin is Kim Cattrall.
The Pickup Artist.
I haven't seen that one.
What's that? Is that Rob Lowe or?
Where?
I'm trying to think of the Pickup Artist. Who that was? It was I think it was Ali Sheedy. No, it wasn't. It was Molly Ringwald, and maybe it was Rob Lowe. Youngblood, the hockey.
Youngblood.
Yeah, we brought that up when we talked about sports movies because I really liked it. It was a hockey movie.
That's Patrick Swayze too, right?
That's Swayze.
Yeah. Mannequin got 5.8.
Ooh.
I didn't realize James Spader's in that too.
Huh. James Spader's kind of like in the Brat Pack too.
I know. I think he kind of is.
How about here's one that's not even on my list, but if we kind of include John Cusack, Say Anything.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
You know what? I really like John Cusack.
Did you ever? I don't know if we've talked about this. The one Gross Point Blank.
Yeah.
Did you saw that?
Uh-huh.
That's his humor. That's like perfect. You know, him and Dan Aykroyd just going at it. It's just funny. I don't know. That's like one of those movies I don't think was very popular, but I really liked it.
I think if I could pick like an actor of these guys, John Cusack might be my favorite. I like him. I like him better than almost all these guys.
What do you think Gross Point Blank got for a rating?
6.8.
I bet it's lower than
We're
that.
looking it up. Oh no, we only have like 4 minutes.
I know. That's what I mean. This show flew by, so we could definitely do another 80s show, no question. Because we haven't talked about.
Is that 80s too? Gross Point Blank?
No, it's 97. I actually got 7.4.
7.4. Yeah, people like that.
That surprised me. Yeah, that's got a good cast. John Cusack, Minnie Driver, Alan Arkin, Dan. I forgot Alan Arkin's his shrink, and his sister plays his.
Oh man, I want to see this again now.
Yeah, I'll write that down too. I'm gonna bring in a stack. I swear, next week I'm gonna have like a big duffel bag full of movies for you.
I almost gave all your movies back. I had a big duffel bag full of them, and I've been watching them slowly. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is about John Cusack that's so appealing. I mean, I still like him to this day if he's in a movie.
Yeah. Oh, did you ever see? Now we're off topic completely because we're talking about John Cusack. But did you ever see Identity?
Yeah, I think that's one you lent me. That's at the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. Did you like that?
I did. I liked it a lot.
That's got a really
Ray
good.
Liotta.
Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet. That's got a really good cast. John C. McGinley.
And
Really good.
Taylor Pruitt Vince. Is that what his name is? Taylor Pruitt Vince?
Who is he?
He's the guy who they picked up, the convict.
Oh.
I think he's got the weird eyes. I think he has the weird eyes in real life. He was in Mississippi Burning. He had a role in Mississippi Burning too, and he's got those kind of like, I don't know what they call them, like his eyes are like moving.
That's a really
all the
good
time.
80s movie, Mississippi Burning. That was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, that was a good. I liked Identity. I knew I would when I saw like that had Ray Liotta and
And John Cusack.
John Cusack.
Yeah. Definitely.
I don't know who directed that. It had the rain going the whole time.
I don't know who directed that.
That was a good fun movie.
That was a good movie.
Let's see. Here's another one. No Small Affair. I forget who's in it. Maybe that's John Cryer. John Cryer.
He's kind of.
Did I write him down on this?
No,
list?
he's kind of.
I don't really like John.
James
Cryer.
Mangold directed.
James
Identity.
Mangold. All right.
I want to say he directed Walk the Line too.
Yeah. Here's,
That got a 7.3 for Identity.
I think John Cryer was good in like Pretty in Pink. He was like good in that role.
What's
But-
the other one he did with Andrew McCarthy where he's like witness protection?
Oh, I don't know.
Hiding Out? Does that sound right?
I don't think I've seen it. Huh. Yeah, and then he was on the television show with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, 2.5 Men.
Oh, I hated that show. I
Oh, really?
hated that
I
show
liked it.
probably more than any television show I've ever seen.
Wow.
Oh, I couldn't stand
I
that
liked
thing.
it.
So I don't like John Cryer. I didn't like the writing on the show.
Yeah, I
just
don't.
was
I don't like John
oh.
Cryer either.
Maybe I'm exaggerating. I can't. Maybe I could probably think of a show that I like less. But
I stopped watching it when Charlie Sheen left.
well, you know what it had? It was like grouped with a couple of other better shows. It was grouped with King of Queens, and we're down to a minute here. It's grouped with King of Queens and Everybody Loves Raymond. Maybe it was all on the same night. So it was like
Hiding Out. Yeah, sorry.
It was like 3 out of the 4 shows. Then it let up, and it was like 3.5 Men, and I was like, oh my God. I watched it a few times. I'm like, I can't stand this thing.
Yeah, his character Alan is really annoying. Very annoying.
Well, I think next week we're going to be talking about our favorite horror movies
Yeah, because it's going to be Halloween.
in preparation for Halloween. I'm trying to like find some offbeat stuff. The problem is the library didn't have any. And I don't have Netflix yet. I should be watching some of these movies. But I had like a whole list of all these ones, like the scariest movies. But there's a bunch I've never seen before.
All right, I think we're pretty
In
much
addition
running
to
out
the
of
ones
time.
that I have seen. So
Yeah, we'll do our Halloween edition next week. That way, it'll give the TV station a week to air it.
hopefully if you people haven't heard of the Brat Pack, you'll go out and grab some Brat Pack movies because it was a pretty fun time.
Yeah, no, this was a quick show. It definitely was a very quick show.
Yeah.
So that's it for the Best Pictures this week. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
I'm Don Tretler.
See you at the movies.